What it do, everybody? Just want to say thank you for tapping in. Prayers for anybody who's watching this. May God bless. You already know what it is. We're going to get straight into the topic today, which is, are you a leader or a follower? And for so many of us, we have to ask ourselves this question when going through life. Because it may seem very easy to ask and say you're a leader. But are you really? Or are you following the destructive ways of those around you that make you a follower? And for a great example could be going through college, going through the social events, going through the social group that you have with others. Are you following the behaviors that they do that are allowing you and leading you to death? Or are you leading yourself to life? Especially when we choose to walk with God, this is an important question because it's never easy to not be a follower of those around you because you are like those who you surround yourself with. If the 5 people around you are those who may have destructive habits, you're going to participate in those destructive habits at some point, one way or another. So by that, you are a follower. But then when you decide to not do it and you lead yourself away from that and you lead yourself to take care of yourself, working out, praying, reading, building a community of like-minded people around you, you understand that you're now taking care of yourself. You're leading yourself down a path. But not only you're taking care of yourself, but you're leading yourself in a life that others may want. And now I'm not saying that you're a follower if you do the same things as, your friends or your peers. If you guys like playing basketball and you all play basketball, great, that's a good thing. But if all your friends decide to go out and drink one night and you don't want to do it, but you then go ahead and fall into that peer pressure or you fall into that environment, you are now a follower. And that's what you are. And it's not a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when you try to lie to yourself, when you try to deceive yourself and say that you're not. Now, we're all followers. Me, myself, I strive to be a follower of Christ. But are you a follower of things that are tearing you apart? You scrolling on Instagram, scroll. You're following people that have things that you may want, but personally or morally, they're terrible people. Is that what you want? You may have the money, the fame, the status, but morally, I'm a bad person. I look at myself as I'm better than this person because I have more than them. It's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have. Because you can't take it with you when you die. And when walking with God, you learn about this so much. And how important it is in your life to not be surrounded by those around you. As it says, bad company corrupts a good spirit. You will be corrupted. You will be a follower of things that are going to tear your life away, that are going to tear your life apart. For all my fellas out there, you may have a girl, you may have a partner, whoever it is, and you may follow what you think is best in the relationship, and you may follow whatever's going on there, and then what happens if you're heartbroken? It tears you apart. Okay, now how am I going to lead myself out of that situation? Am I going to seek to use drugs? Am I going to seek to go out and party and distract myself? Am I going to seek the Lord? Am I going to seek a good community of those around me, so I can go lead myself down a healthier path of life and then become a better person, a better man that I want to be? And the same goes for women. You follow this dude, stuff didn't work out, now you're heartbroken. Now are you going to go to drugs? Are you going to go to partying? Are you going to go to the things that are going to continue to destroy you? Are you going to follow them down that path that's going to tear you apart? Or are you going to lead yourself down a road with God, understanding that there's something bigger than what I want, than the stuff that I'm going to follow? And it's never going to be easy. And for those out there who are leaders, who are mentors, who see a bigger picture besides themselves, they understand that. Because when you're a leader, you have to be humble. But not only that, you have to be understanding to the point where I wasn't perfect and I am not perfect. And in me making these mistakes, I would want to lead others away from doing that same thing. I don't want them to follow my footsteps. But hey man, some of y'all, you're gonna have to burn your hand on the iron. You're going to want to touch that heat. You're going to want to touch this candle. You're going to want to stick my finger in there. See if I can put the fire out. And you're going to have to learn from that mistake. And for others, you may burn, and continue to do it. Because it's never hot enough. The flame or the burn was never bad enough. It never reached a degree to the point where you thought that, you know what, I should maybe stop following this. Look at all the people that we see on social media. There's so many people who follow trends, no matter how dumb they are, no matter how destructive they are, no matter how ignorant they are, they will follow it because guess what? If I follow it, I can gain some sort of status. I can gain some sort of fame. I can gain some sort of material wealth and do whatever I seek to do with it if I follow these footsteps, no matter how destructive it is. Imagine that. We have to understand, for those of us who are trying to become leaders, how can I become a leader if I'm following things that I don't even believe in? How can I become a leader when the footsteps that I'm taking are going to mislead those behind me? Now, it's okay if you're a leader and you fail. Coaches fail all the time. CEOs fail all the time. It depends on, am I leading them to a path of, okay, I understood where I failed and how to go above and beyond what I just did, or am I going to continue to lead down that path? Relating to the last video that I just had, which is why failure is important. But at the same time, if you're a leader going through failure, you're going to continue to lead those and tell them to follow you down that path? No, you're not. Because as a leader, you understand the mistakes that you made. Now, for so many of us, it's going to be hard. For young men, young people out there, if you got a group of friends, you're in college, they like to drink, smoke, do whatever, and you're following them down that path and continuing to do it, think about it this way. I'm going to follow them doing this behavior for 4 years, and then somehow I magically think I'm going to get a job or seek this career, and those same behaviors, I'm not going to follow them when I do that. When I get this job, if anything, you're gonna have more of a likelihood to do that, because now you have the stress of work, you have the stress of bills, you have the stress of maybe paying off loans, and then you have the stress of doing all of that while performing to a certain degree and a certain standard at work. Maybe you have a relationship, but now you have some income to go in and fuel those same bad habits, to fuel and follow those destructive habits that you followed in doing with those around you. Or you're going to lead yourself to a better way of life. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to burn my hand on this fire. But I'm going to go ahead and lead myself down a path that I'm going to take care of myself, spiritually, mentally, physically. I'm going to use this job as a stepping stone to get closer in where I want to be in my career. I'm going to use this job and save up this income to build that business. But for so many of us, it's a, oh my gosh, I see what this person got here, so I'm going to immediately follow them. This person was partying with this celebrity. I should have followed them and went to that party. Why? What were you going to gain? A picture? Every human bleeds the same color. You got a picture with this celebrity. Okay, cool. And what'd you do to do that? You went to this club, drank this amount of drinks, turned your brain off, did so many things in return that followed down these destructive habits. You continue to do that, and to you, the stories of the past are the best things in your life because you're not leading yourself to anything else. Imagine that. There's people who you're going to realize in life, for all my younger adults, there's people who you're going to realize in life, the things that they live off are stories. Yeah, we all have great memories, understand that, but they live off stories. They live off these stories. There's nothing that they're doing furthering their life to where they're leading themselves to where I'm happy because this is what I'm seeking to do. It's I remember this, I remember that, I did this, I did that. And it's always something that is never productive in leading them down the road to a more successful, not only that, more meaningful and impactful life. So you have to ask yourself this question: am I a leader or am I a follower? Am I somebody who's going to lead myself down a path of things that, I want to do, God willing, that what God has put in my heart for God's passion for me? Or am I going to follow what the world has for me? Am I going to follow what the people in the community that I surround myself with has for me? Especially if it's destructive behaviors. Am I going to follow that and then somehow expect to change up my behavior? Because you become so wrapped up in seeking the gratification of those around you instead of seeking what you truly want, what God's will is for you. But hey man, I can't live in your shoes for you. I can't tell you how to be a leader. Those who seek to mentor, who seek to lead others, who lead others in businesses, who have their own business and lead, they understood the steps that they took and what they needed to do to lead themselves away from everybody else. Away from that. How do you think they got into those positions? They didn't just wake up and say, oh, I'm a leader. No, they earned that. From saying, I'm going to stop following the masses and following what the destructive habits people are doing around me, and I'm going to lead myself. And this message that I have, and this business that I have, and the service that I have, with the provision that God has for me, I'm going to lead that to where it needs to be, because I understand that the things that I'm following are going to kill me, are going to destroy me more, and they're not going to give me the life that I'm seeking. But hey man, look, it's your choice at the end of the day. When you look in that mirror, you have that choice. I'm going to ask, am I going to be a leader today, or am I going to be a follower? Am I seeking life, or am I seeking death?